Hey everybody, I'm G1 Later and this is I Love My Spouse, but this is segment 5 and it is called Abuse is Never Okay. Abuse is never okay. Okay? Alright, so we all know, when we hear about abuse, we think of physical abuse, we think of sexual abuse, like rape or just inflicting pain on someone, like physically, like either with our hands, kicking people, smacking, spitting, either way you put it, guys, is never okay. All right. So there are so many other hidden abuse factors, and it includes verbal and emotional abuse, which is very common, and a lot of people don't even realize that they are going through some form of verbal emotional abuse, or even physical, verbal, and sexual. So a lot of these things are more common than we think. All right, and I know that this is a tough subject for a lot of people, but it has to be talked about. And I think that's the problem. Like, it's not enough people in the world that talks about it, and it needs to be addressed, right? So we also have mental and psychological abuse. You also have, and if you don't know what that is, that means like playing mind games, trying to manipulate you, trying to trick you into believing something about themselves or about yourself, right? And then we also even have financial abuse, which is also very common, especially when you are being physically abused or verbally abused. A lot of times in relationships, financial abuse is also a problem, okay? And then we have basic neglect, okay, which is another form of abuse. Ignoring your needs, being unfair to you, withholding compassion or withholding love from you, maybe withholding in an extreme amount of support. Maybe you need that person to support you emotionally or spiritually, and maybe they are choosing to kind of distance themselves, and they could be doing it to hurt you, right? So now, again, a lot of people go through physical abuse mainly, but what if I told you that even when a person belittles you or tells you, oh, shut up, you ain't shit, all those things, that's all verbal and emotional abuse, degrading you, bringing you down, saying really harsh things to you like, damn, you getting fat, or they can say something really mean towards you. Oh, your skin is fucked up, or oh, your teeth is horrible, and they say these things with the intent to hurt you. Oh, look at you, don't nobody want you, that hurts, right? That's verbal and emotional abuse. This person can put you down, call you out your name, calling you ugly, calling you stupid. All of those things are forms of verbal and emotional abuse, guys. And it happens especially more so in toxic relationships, or a relationship where there's clearly just no understanding of either self or the other person. This is why it's so important for us to heal. Even in a relationship, you cannot stop healing. You have to continue to heal, continue to work on anything that affects you. If something bothers you, that means something is not right? So we need to heal that. It doesn't matter if it just happened yesterday, if it happened 6 years ago. We never stop growing, we never stop healing or evolving. Okay, so it's so important to take care of ourselves and heal our process before we even get into a relationship, because then we have these type of situations. Now, I'm not saying that if you do the healing before you get into a relationship that these things still can't take place. It definitely can, especially if the other person is not on the same wavelength as you when it comes to the whole healing process. They may not have the same amount of spiritual understanding that you do. So guess what? Now your old wounds and old emotions are now being triggered because no one has took the initiative to try to heal So it's so important, because a lot of times when people do things to you, it's not because of you. It's because it's their reflection. It's a reflection of who they really are. It's a reflection of how they really feel about themselves. So let's go into the whole mental psychological abuse. The narcissist playing mind games, forcing you to believe that they're doing something when they're really not. Like, in other words, trying to make you think that it's someone else on the side that they're talking to or that they're seeing. All right, and maybe they just waiting for a reaction out of you. Maybe the whole point is just to simply make you jealous or to cause an amount of insecurity just because they are insecure themselves. So they play all these mental games, all these mind games, mentally insulting you, right? So if you ask a question and like you have a pretty good idea of what you saw or what you feel, and they are really trying to make you seem like you're crazy, like, and this is very popular, guys. They'll say, oh, you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about, oh, it's nothing really going on, even though it's clear as day, right? But they like to try to manipulate you and try to get you to see things the way that they want you to see it. So they're going to try to even possibly try to be nice, just to calm you down, and then days later they're back to their foolishness again. So you have to watch out for stuff like that in relationships as well, guys, okay? Especially, in our other segment, we talked about red flags, and I wish I would have incorporated more this whole abuse thing in that segment, because it's so true, guys. In the beginning, guys, I'm telling you, pay attention to those red flags. And abuse is a part of that. It's a part of the red flags, Pay attention to how a person is physically, how they treat you verbally and emotionally, how they treat other people mentally, psychologically. How do they treat people? How do they treat themselves? Okay? Now, sexual abuse is also very strong as well, because this happens a lot often than we think. A lot more often than we think, where you could be in a relationship, right? And you guys always having amazing sex, always being able to make love to each other, and then now they're upset with you, they're withholding sex from you. And it doesn't matter if you're a man doing this to a woman or if you are a man doing this to men, okay? I mean, a woman doing this to a man. But I do, and this is just my opinion, disclaimer, okay? But I have a really strong feeling that, and I'm going to back my theory up one day, but I do have a strong feeling that women tend to do this a lot more to men than men do it to women, okay? But again, that's just my opinion, okay? But I do believe that women do it more to men. And it's not right. It's not right. It's not right to say, oh, you know what? We're not having no sex. Go sleep on the couch. Or don't do that. Don't withhold yourself from your spouse, especially if you guys are married. Like if you guys are together, like just dating, and you might have a moment where you're upset and you just really don't want to be bothered and you don't want them touching you. Fine. But you know what? That is still signaling that something is wrong. Something is wrong. The fact that you can even be stubborn for that long and hold a grudge against that person for that long, or withhold forgiveness from that person from that long, something is off. And nobody ever in a relationship should have you that upset or that angry, or you should not be that bitter in this relationship to withhold sex from your partner. Unless they really, truly did something degrading and to truly hurt you. I mean, really, really hurt you. Like put their hands on you or cheated on you, or maybe they lied about something that was truly significant. They really have devastated you, or really, really have put you in a place where you were in a dark space and you couldn't be yourself for a while or whatever, right? Like if it really got that bad, right? Again, we're talking about all the other forms of abuse at this point. If it really got that bad, then of course, I'm not saying even when you feel degraded or low or depressed that you should still have sex. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, first we need to acknowledge the reason why we're even withholding sex to begin with. okay? We need to be honest about our feelings. Babe, it's not that I don't want to make love today. I just have a lot on my mind. Well, babe, what's on your mind? Well, for starters, my job, I think it's when it all boils down, guys, it's all about communication. You should not ever be to a place where you want to just withhold sex from your partner. Something is off. It needs to be discussed. You guys should be able to sit like adults and talk about your emotions and your feelings and what you're going through. You should be able to do that. And if you might be watching this right now, might be saying, well, this person doesn't know how to communicate. They don't want to talk. Every time I try to talk, they avoid me, or they walk into the next room, or they don't answer the phone when I'm calling. When I try to reach out to them through text, they don't respond. You could be saying those things. Well, you know what? Then that's their problem. Because all you can say at the end of the day, I tried. I did my best, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and keep making myself feel like I'm not beautiful or I'm not wanted because they got issues. No, they got issues. But at least you tried. At least you gave the intent. At least you said, you know what, babe, let's not fight. I'd rather make love with you. I'd rather be holding you and kissing you. Let's not do this, okay? Right? Like, that's the way it should be. But if you feel like you're with a stubborn partner and they're being all, obnoxious with you, they don't care, they're being stubborn and stuck up and rude and disrespectful, give them some time to breathe. Let them have their space and their moment. Because remember, we're all human, we all make mistakes, and we do things sometimes that we're not proud of. So you have to allow people to vent, to get things off their chest, to calm down, to reconnect with who they are. But don't get mad and be like, well, I tried to offer you sex yesterday and you didn't want it. So, oh, well, no. Like, hello, are we really going to be that petty? Okay? Listen, because I see that a lot of people will do that. They'll withhold the sex, right? And then won't even think about the spouse's needs, about what your partner wants and what your partner is desiring. They could be desiring anybody in the world, but they want you. So don't withhold that. Like I said, if it get to the point where you can't really deal with that person, y'all shouldn't even be in the same room then. I mean, for all that, like, y'all shouldn't even be in the same room. If you really get that angry or that upset that you can't give it up to your spouse or your partner, okay, y'all shouldn't even be in the same room then. Because I'm not going to deal with somebody I can't even touch or I'm not sexually interested in. Like, yeah, why am I wasting my time? Why am I wasting your time? If I don't want you sexually, then we don't even need to be in the same room. Because something is off. Clearly, either I'm not attracted to you or I'm disgusted at you for some reason. Okay? And like I said, we need to either find a common ground, we can work on our issues, or we need to separate ourselves. Period. It should never get to a point in a relationship where you have to withhold sex from your spouse. And if there is, let's take it for face value. Let's just say if there is a reason, we have to be adults. We have to communicate. We have to be honest about our feelings. I'm hurting. I'm upset because you won't make love to me. Or I'm upset because, I have all these things going on and lately I feel like you haven't been understanding me. Like, express that. What's the worst that can happen? You get a beating? Like, express what you're feeling. Tell this person why you have been so disconnected lately. It may not have anything to do with you, but hey, at least your spouse knows the truth. It may not have anything to do with your spouse, but at least they know the truth. Be honest about your desires. Be honest about your needs sexually, okay? Now, the other part of that is the part I don't like too much is rape, of course, molestation. I don't like that topic too much. But again, it's something that happens very, very often, especially even in relationships. I think up until 13 years ago, I believe, nobody's seen a problem with it, with a spouse raping their spouse. I mean, a person raping their spouse. They was like, how? That's impossible. You can't rape your spouse. Yeah, you can. Because if I'm clearly saying no and you take advantage of me, that is called rape, right? Oh, okay. Yeah. So it happens a lot more than we think, guys. It really does. The other part is the guilt. When it comes to sexual abuse, it's the guilt. Some people they could be refusing refusing sex from you because possibly they're getting it from somewhere else. Okay? Or it's the guilt shame thing where I messed up, I had sex with somebody else, and right now I don't feel comfortable with having sex with you because I feel bad about what I did. So even you could be one of those people who maybe took somebody back because of something that they did, and maybe you do want to have some makeup sex, and maybe they're like, I'm good. Everything is not personal. It may not have anything to do with you, but it may still hurt. And therefore, that is still mental and psychological and sexual abuse because they are withholding it from you, and it is mentally draining, okay? And degrading as well because you feel empty. You don't feel pretty. You don't feel good enough. So it's like, why are you doing this to me? What? Is this something I'm not doing? Do you want me to get my hair cut? Do you want me to dress up? Do you want me to put some lingerie on? Like, what can I do to help us, move along? Right? But after a while, guys, like I said, after a while of you trying and you still see no change, all you can say is, I tried. I did my best. But if you are in a situation where you said no and they attacked you anyway, I want you, and let this be another disclaimer, guys, there's nothing wrong with seeking help. As men that go through it too, men go through it too, guys. They go through it too. It's not just women that are facing these issues. Men go through it too. Okay? And we have to be okay with saying, I'm here for you. I don't know what's going on with you, but hopefully we can get through this together. Okay? Maybe you are a rape victim, and maybe you're trying your best to leave that in the past and move forward and get into a new relationship. I know it's not the most interesting conversation to have with a person when you first meet them because it's very personal to you. But at some point, once you guys develop trust, at some point, it's important to share that because how can they know how to approach you or how to do anything with you or how to please you sexually if they don't know what you've been through? If they don't know what you have gone through in the past sexually, like I said, if you were raped, right? Because I don't believe sharing every little thing from your past. But if it's something that serious, you have to find a way to open up about it. And if this person is mature as you think, they will handle it with grace. They will not shame you. They will not throw it in your face. But if you choose not to share it, make sure that during those moments when you're not sexually interested, that not only do you try to seek advice or seek help, because something is wrong. And you have to be okay with acknowledging your emotions. Something is wrong. Why am I feeling so depressed today? Why am I feeling so sad today? Why did I not want to make love to her last night? Why did I not want to touch him last night? Something is up with that. Because if you're truly in love, nothing should stop you from wanting to touch and please your spouse. If you're truly in love or if you're truly in strong like, nothing should be stopping you. So something must be wrong. A lot of times things happen to us in the past that we may not even remember. And then all of a sudden we're triggered by a certain touch or a smell. And it can bring up different emotions and senses. But it's important, guys, that you remember to stop, to acknowledge those feelings and those emotions. And to seek help, guys. The help is out there. There are so many support lines out there. And I will make sure that I list a few under the the description. I will try my best to list a few things or resources for you guys that are going through any form of abuse. Okay? Abuse is real and it is happening every single day, especially during COVID, especially with this quarantine thing. There are so many people that are caught up in situations and in relationships that they don't really want to be in, but they have no choice because either they have no money or nowhere to go or no support system. The support is out there, and that is why this message today is so important. Okay? So, the other thing is financial abuse, okay? Withholding money from you. You could be having a really tight ship, okay? Things are not flowing right. Business is not doing so great. Your spouse has all the money, but just because you guys got into an argument, they don't want to give you any money. They withhold, money from you. Or they won't help you out with something that you really desperately need help with. You may want to pay a credit card bill, and maybe you just recently lost your job and you don't want your credit to go bad, and your spouse refuses to help you just because they don't want you spending your credit card shopping just to look good. Believe it or not, it's men out there that are that petty, and women too. There are people out there that are that petty. They don't want you to look good, and they don't want you to, live happy, and they don't want you to gain access to all the things that pleases you. So they withhold resources. They withhold money from you because of that. I call it, because I'm from the hood, so I call it just being a hater. Like, if you got money and I don't, and I'm down and out, you should be helping me if you love me. But there it is again. Is that psychological abuse too? Right? They want you to feel insecure. They want you to feel ugly. They don't want you. You got people out there that are jealous of their own spouse. I'm telling you, it's real. It's very real, and it's very scary too. Because it's kind of like shacking up with a demon. You know what I mean? Like, they don't want you to be successful. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to progress. So they're like, no, I don't have it. I don't have enough money. I can't help you today. Meanwhile, their checking account looks amazing. Or you guys can have a joint account, and they're not allowing you to have access to the bank card or to the PIN number. They want full access, full control. You can't touch nothing without their permission. And this happens a lot to people who tend to move in with someone without having their self together financially. They'll move into a home, right? Thinking that is love. Person buying them everything, giving them anything that they want. But then the minute that they ask for something, they're sucking their teeth. They don't want to help out. They're getting mad. Then the conversation begins. Oh, you always want something. What do you want now? They will know that you desperately are in need of something and will not support you. Not only is that financial abuse, but that is also mental, psychological abuse. That is also verbal and emotional abuse. Telling you that you're greedy, you're never grateful, you're worthless, you need a fucking job. All that is hurtful, especially when a person has been trying or they can't help their situation. And again, guys, this is something that people have been going through a lot through COVID and a lot through quarantine. So if you are a person that is blessed to have something or to have a home or have finances, and you're with someone and maybe they just lost their home, maybe they just lost their job, maybe their finances are not flowing the way it should, and you're in a relationship with that person, you should be their support system. Hello? That's just common courtesy. That's just being genuine. Even if you don't love that person. Hey, I don't want to see you sleeping on the curb. Is there anything that I can do? Hey, I know you don't have much money to your name, but I got like $20. I hope that can help, buy you some lunch for the week. That's common courtesy. So don't ever let no one in a relationship make you feel that your needs are too much. If you need something and you're desperate and this is important, and this is something that you really need to get, and they're making you feel like you're always begging or you always got your hands out, and they're trying to flip the script and trying to make you feel like you're incapable of getting your own money just because you had a few setbacks, get back up. It's time for you to, reprioritize. Because, first of all, you shouldn't even be in a relationship with somebody that treats you that way. Okay? But regardless if you're financially stable or not, shit happens. I know a lot of people that say, I don't want to get into no relationship unless I have a job. Or I don't want to have kids until, I have my finances together. Shit still happens. You can go into a situation fully financially stable and shit just fall apart. That's the circle of life. That's just how it go. Shit happens. And you should not be held accountable for every little thing that goes wrong in your life. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some people that are, right, accountable because they're irresponsible or, don't really appreciate the value of a dollar, But if this is somebody who is really, if you are someone who has really worked hard and you just happen to have a moment where you just having a really rough time, don't dare allow this person to make you feel inadequate or make you feel this small of a person or make you feel like you are not capable of something because you are having a rough moment. If you are having a rough moment, it's okay. Get back up. Okay? Find the courage to get back up again. I don't care if you're selling pencils. If you go to the dollar store and grab a pack of pencils and redecorate it and tag your name on it, it is your business. Okay? But get back up. Start small. Find a way to get back up again. Okay? And that can be another topic for another day when we're doing G1 Insights. Maybe we'll do a little financial segment. You guys know I love my money spells. So I got some things up my sleeve I can teach you guys. But also, guys, last but not least, we have neglect. And neglect is huge because this person will purposely neglect you. Not show you no attention, not give you affection. They're not calling you. They're avoiding you, avoiding conversations, treating you very unfairly, disrespecting you in front of your friends or just simply not making you feel complete with them. It's one thing to feel complete with yourself, but it's a whole nother amazing feeling to be with somebody who can say, I cannot breathe without you. Like, it is a whole different feeling. And if that person is not giving you that vibe, that I cannot breathe without you vibe, like, I want to be around you, I want to love on you, I want to please you, I want to satisfy you, I want us to be a team, I want us to be an amazing union. If they are not giving you I can't breathe without you vibes, they're neglecting you on purpose. For what? If you truly are that dissatisfied, bye. What's that song that Fantasia came out with? If you don't want me, don't talk to me, okay? If you don't want me, don't talk to me. It ain't that serious. Bye. I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna get upset, I'm gonna be pissed off, but at least I know I'm not no longer being neglected. Hello, okay? I know I can go out into the world and meet someone totally amazing who would love to love on me. Stop allowing people or this person to ignore your needs continuously. Something has to change. It's one thing to say, oh, they're stressed out, they're going through some things, they have a lot on their mind. But it should not be to the point that much that, okay, I don't want to have sex. No, you can have no money. They're slapping you around, inflicting pain on you, flirting with other people. Okay? And let me tell you something, guys, too. Something that I've learned is that verbal and emotional abuse and neglect and mental and psychological abuse, believe it or not, it takes longer to heal from. You know how they say words don't hurt, right? Words can hurt. And believe it or not, yes, it's up to you to choose to believe the things that people say or not. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt when it's being said. And I'm just as guilty. I've said things to my spouse I shouldn't have said things to me that shouldn't have been said. But part of being an adult is acknowledging when we're wrong and being able to say, hey, what we just did was not okay. That is not okay. We have to fix this. We can't do that to each other. It's not okay. Because it takes longer to heal. We still have those thoughts in our mind like, wow, that's what they really think of me. They really don't think that I'm good enough. They really don't think that I please them. They really don't think that I can sexually please them, make them happy. Like, is that how they really feel? Right? Verbal and emotional, psychological, mental, and neglect abuse is most common, more so than physical abuse and financial abuse. And it definitely does take longer to heal. So we have to be careful about how we are treating each other, because abuse is never okay. Okay? So guys, I love you, and I really hope that this message was informative, and I hope that it gave you some type of a support system, at least to have an understanding, to have someone out there who gets it. I've been through abuse in my life, and it's not fun. No way, form, or fashion was it fun. It took me a long time to trust again, okay? That emotional abuse was something else. It took me years to get over, okay? So, yeah, I'm far too familiar with what abuse is, but at some point, I had to put a stop to it. Yeah, like, even in my life right now, I have, like, a no tolerance thing, like, listen, no tolerance at all. Like, none. I'm quick to cut you off. Like, you will not disturb my peace. I don't care who you are. You will not disturb my peace. Okay? Abuse is never okay, guys. It's never okay. So I love you. I'm going to try my best to post everything below. But in the meantime, stay tuned for our next segment. Make sure that you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay? At G1 Insights. Make sure that if you guys are not following me on Instagram, guys, I do have more than one Instagram page. Yes, so I know you're probably looking like, wow, is this a fake page? No, I do have more than one. At I Love My Spouse But and at G1 Insights. And those links will also be below. Also, check out my website, g1insights.org, for personal advice with or without the tarot cards. It doesn't matter. It's all love at G1 Insights. Bye, guys.